Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of September. September went by so quick, it was literally 3 days. How is it October? I wanted to share 6 books that I read this month. It was a good month. It wasn't a great month. It wasn't a bad month. It was just pretty okay. I read one 5-star book. The other ones were like 4, 3.5, 4.5. So overall, just a good month. Okay, these are the books that were on my September TBR. And honestly, I read a couple. I only read 3 of the books on my TBR. Not great, but not bad. I mean, at least I read 3. Let's go ahead and talk about the books that I did read in the month of September. I started off the month with Beartown by Frederick Backman. I liked it. I think I gave this a 4-star. This book was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's not a romance, it's just fiction. I do talk about this book a lot more in my reading vlog. If you want to go watch that, I do read this in a reading vlog. But you're just getting to know the small town, the characters, small mystery going on. I'm not sure if I would read another book by this author. I know a lot of people read Anxious People by him, and I might give it a try. I would recommend. I just realized all of the books except my last read of the month are in a reading vlog. Like the next 3 or 4 are like in the same reading vlog. So if you are interested in watching me read any of these, go and watch my previous videos because I do have reading vlogs reading these. Let's continue. Then I read One Dark Window, and this one was so good. I rated this book 4 stars, and this is a quick fantasy with a little bit of romance. It's not super high stakes. It's not like dragons and all this stuff, but it does have magical elements and powers and stuff like that. The romance had some tension because he's basically the person that hunts people like her. You can imagine. I feel like if you're a beginner into fantasy and you're not really good at capturing like complex magic world and like a big universe, this is a good one to begin with. And I feel like this book deserves a lot more hype. It does have some hype and I understand it, but I feel like it deserves a lot more. The next book is actually on my October TBR, so I hope to get to that one soon. Then I read Daydream by Hannah Grace, and this was a 4.5 star for me. I really enjoyed this one. I mentioned it before, but out of the series, this is my favorite one. This is book 3, but it is my favorite. I just really love the characters, both of them. Hallie is super relatable. She's just older sister, Swiftie, loves books. Like, I mean, come on. And Henry was just perfection. This is a college sports romance. I'm going to this book expecting a lot more hockey. He's just a hockey player at school. They decide to help each other. She's helping him with schoolwork, and he's helping her by taking her on dates so she can write her romance book. And it's just cute seeing them together as friends, and you really see the relationship develop before they date and stuff. The gesture that Henry makes for her, like the grand gesture for Hallie as a reader, as a writer, perfection. That's all I'm gonna say. I really enjoyed this one. It was just so sweet and cute, and I really liked it. Then I read a novel love story, and this was my 5-star of the month. I love this one so much. I was a little nervous going into this because I have seen great reviews but also not so great reviews. I was a little bit on the fence of whether I was gonna like it or not. If you heard my thoughts on this book in my reading vlog, then you know that I was super early into the book when I had a feeling that this was going to be a 5-star, and it ended up being a 5-star. It was just so good. The main character in this book is a reader, and she's traveling to go on a little vacation, and she ends up going into this town. Turns out it's the small town from her favorite romance series. Like, imagine getting stuck in your favorite fictional town. Just imagine being at Chestnut Springs. Like, that's the dream. This one was so good because there's a little bit of a tiny mystery. At least for me, I was trying to figure out who this other character was, who's the love interest. And I had a theory. I was correct. I love the way that the story wrapped up. I feel like it ended perfectly. And I fell in love with the small town. I can see why she fell in love with it. Everything, the setting, the characters, just, I wish I could see this town. It's just so perfect. The author does a great job of writing a good setting, but still keeping the story interesting and not like overly describing things. I really enjoyed this one. This was a 5-star for me. Then I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. This book is just giving September, October, November, fall in one cover. And this book I would just describe as like warm and cozy. Fluffy, cute romance. This was a 3.5 for me. It's not a bad rating. I didn't hate it. It was just a cute fluffy romance, and if you want to get in the mood for the fall, this is a good book. It's just about this girl who her aunt leaves her coffee shop in the small town, so she moves it. Now she's gonna run this coffee shop, and there's a little mystery going on. Gets this guy to help her figure out like what's going on with the cafe and stuff. He's a farmer in the small town. It's just, honestly, their relationship, like the way that they would talk and banter, just kind of reminded me of Lorelai and Luke from Gilmore Girls in another universe. Like, it's just them, and the town is very like Gilmore Girls coded, so I definitely understand why people say this is Gilmore Girl. And the last book I read is Forbidden King by Laura Pavlov. This is book 3 in the Magnolia Fall series. He's her brother's best friend. And so he obviously just went across that line. She's opening up a bookstore in the small town, another small town. If you like small town, this is small town. She's opening a bookstore in the small town, and he's helping her like remodel it and stuff. And then after, they just spend all this time together, but they grew up together, so there's always been a connection there, and it's just about them exploring that. I rated this a 4-star. I would recommend this series if you like a small town, found family, like a big group of friends. This is a series for you. Those are all the books I read this month. Didn't read many. I really thought I was gonna read more this month, but it just got like, September went by so quick. I cannot believe it. Hopefully October will go a little bit slower so we can read more books. I have my October TBR picked out already thanks to the TBR jar, but I feel like there's such good books for the month of October, and I can't wait to read them. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some book recommendations for this fall. That's it for now. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.